Welcome to Techstination. Joining us is Wen Muenyi, founder of a company called HerCleon, HerCleon. Thanks for joining us, Wen.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Very interesting company in these times. Tell us a little bit of background, what you're all about.
Well, we're mostly a material research company. So um, a few years ago, I had just lost my mother, and was my girlfriend and I were breaking up. So I was in a really rocky part of my life, and so I went on a trip to Iceland, and I realized that in my trip, I only brought a backpack of clothes. And in that backpack, the clothes were smelling differently. They were getting, stinky at different rates. And so from that moment, I started, researching materials, and that's where we're at now. Is we do material research and development.
And with these materials that you've created, you were looking for materials that didn't need washing all the time. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. So ultimately, our goal is to allow people to be able to, if you're going camping, your back would hurt if you have to bring, 4 or 5 pairs of shirts and underwears and whatnot. So if we can bring that down to one or two, that'll make, the trip a lot easier. And even if you're just home, like a lot of people that are using our products don't actually necessarily travel with it. They wear it at home because it's incredibly comfortable. And, so you're at the house and you have you come home from work, you take off your clothes, you put on your home clothes, this shirts and this pants and this underwears and whatnot we're making. You can essentially come home and put on the same things for a month straight, and it would never get smelly or, gross, versus the one you currently have at home. When you put it on, more likely it's already dirty anyway. So, it allows our customers to have a much more hygienic experience and a lot more eco-friendly experience, because now there's less laundry, which is very polluting. On top of that, they get to, enjoy their clothes a lot more.
Well, tell us what it is, how you're able to achieve that.
So there's a few parts to it. Most things you buy, most clothing, most underwear, most shirts, they're made with the least efficient materials for hygiene and for cleanliness. And so, if you're wearing polyester or nylon or all those very common materials, they're not very good because they essentially allow bacteria to stay rent free on their surfaces. And so whenever you sweat, the bacteria takes the sweat the nutrients from your sweat and eats that, and then it grows and expands, and essentially farts all over you. So the smell you're getting from body odor is the bacteria on your clothes is farting on you. And so the next thing is cotton is not much better either. But all these materials are so cheap. So you have polyester, nylon, and cotton. They're the cheapest materials to buy. So companies will go for the cheapest materials, but we said we want to find the best materials. And so we opted for things that are made out of eucalyptus fiber, sustainably sourced eucalyptus fiber, bamboo fiber, beech tree fiber, and, you turn it into pulp. And then we started looking into metals. How can we blend metals into our materials to allow, because, metals can eradicate and destroy the DNA of a bacteria much faster than anything else. So not only is our tree fibers already are able to do that, our metals that we use in our clothes allow it to also do the same thing too, but much more efficiently. And so we end up with clothes that are made with a blend. It could be eucalyptus, it could be bamboo, it could be whatever we're using, blended with, copper most often. Unless it's white, then we have to use silver because copper cannot be white. So we put those blends together, and we test at what percentages we want to use for each shirt. Like a shirt and an underwear, we'll use different percentages of copper and bamboo or whatever we're using, eucalyptus. And in that development, we were able to create what we have now.
And you call it Herc fiber.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us some of the things that you're making out of it. What are some of the items that you have available now?
So right now we have shirts, we have socks. We just released underwear, which is funny because when I was working on it, I wanted to find something that would really push people forward, because one of the least eco-friendly item of clothing you own is your underwear, because you wash it every single wear. And that constant washing is not only does it destroy your underwear faster, it also destroys. The washing drying process is very bad for the planet, eco-wise. And so, if we can, say, hey, wash just half the times, every other time you wear it, or once a week, people were like, "That's gross, that's gross, that's gross," and I'm like, "Well, okay, that sounds like something I want you to just ponder for a second. Could you even think about doing it for like, a little bit less often, twice a week or whatever?" Because if people are not willing to make just little sacrifices here and there as far as what they think is gross or not gross, then we are never going to be an eco-friendly planet because we're not willing to make the sacrifices here and there. So we have the underwear that I just released, and we're already at 100, I think, 1,000 pre-orders on Indiegogo, which is great. And we're working on some shorts right now because people have been wanting shorts the most. We're working on dress shirts, so we're working on a lot more stuff. We're just doing slowly because as a smaller company, we can't, jump, all in right now anyway. So we're releasing one at a time.
So tell us about, you do have things that are available. Tell us about pricing.
So we have the shirts. They're right now going for $95 for the shirts. We have socks that are going for, I think, $20 per pair of socks. We actually have bed sheets, but they're under a different name. They're under Jack sheets, which they're bed sheets for men. And so we have that too, but then they're not under HerCleon. They're under a different name, under Jack's. So we have a few other things that are not necessarily under our name because it wouldn't make sense to make camping sheets. But yeah, so that's what we have right now.
And what's your response when people say, "Holy cow, that's a lot of money to pay for a T-shirt or a pair of socks or something"?
I usually say, well, for one, they're going to last longer. Two, they're going to make you smell a lot better more often. And three, they're going to be super comfortable. And four, look at the reviews. Everyone that has one loves it. So it might be a lot, but if a lot is referencing to the fact that, you're used to cotton, which is the cheapest, and polyester, which are really cheap. Our materials are expensive materials. We're using the best materials in the world. So if it's a lot, that's fair, and I agree with that. It is a lot of money. It's not necessarily the cheapest shirt in the world, but it's going to be the best shirt in the world. So if you want to invest in having one reliably amazing shirt that you can, like we had a customer that emailed me saying thank you because his wife had twins, and he was able to wear the same shirt for a week straight while he was sitting in the hospital because they were born premature. That is why we made the shirts for people that are having extreme lives. So if you're going camping for a week or you have twins that are just being born, and you have to be in the hospital with your wife for a week straight, or even the wife might wear it for a week straight while she's going through labor and having a child. Whatever happens, we're there. The shirt doesn't be the most reliable shirt you have. So if you have one of them, your closet is better than having none of them. So that's why we say.
What was it in your background that enabled you to do this? Tell us a little bit more about you.
So I was born and raised in Cameroon, and so it actually doesn't necessarily relate, but it kind of explains the way I think. So I didn't really have toys growing up, and because I was a family of my dad had two wives and all the good stuff in Africa. So I had to find my own toys to play with, and I would always go by the river and make things out of clay because it was cheap, it was free, and it was readily available. And I was always trying to find things to entertain myself with. And as I get older, I always try to find new ways. How can I be of better service to people? And so right now, the way I could be of better service, I feel like it's by, spending my days and nights researching materials and finding ways to improve them. That way, our clothing and our pollution that's related to our clothing can kind of go away. After that, I have a whole, bigger scheme of I would like to, push people forward from our groceries, because I think even that needs to be changed. The way we consume food is not good. The way we shop for foods is not even efficient for our time and our energy. So, I'm always trying to find ways I can be a better service to people and to society as a whole. And I think with the fact that I lost both my parents at such an early age, I don't necessarily care for anything really. I'm not too tied to life itself, and so by not being too tied to it, I'm always trying to find ways can I be of service to make my life worth my time.
That's pretty amazing. And as far as the company and the growth of it, putting it all together, it sounds pretty amazing that you were able to do that. How did that all come about?
I have no idea. I don't know. I have a lot of, not necessarily the religious version, but I just have faith in general, and I always do what I can. And so a lot of fear was in the mix. I was always worried that I would be a disappointment to people and I would not deliver what I thought I could deliver. And so it was a lot of just saying it's okay. Like if I mess up, it's okay if this doesn't work out, and just keep trying. And yeah, I don't know. I honestly I can't tell you how it came together. It just kind of did. And it's been the greatest blessing in my life because I'm not able to to, have thousands of customers that, that know me, and I email them all day long, which has actually been a really bad thing for my time management. But I'm so happy to talk to them because I'm so appreciative of the opportunity that I get to build and work with them. So I can't tell you how I did it, but it's been such an enjoyable experience doing it.
And your goal is to build out a full clothing line, it seems?
Yeah, so that's our goal, is to have a whole option to replace your closet, so you can have, a closet rather than a whole closet of multiple shirts. You can have 1, 2, 3 that are just exactly what you need for, a week or a month of living. And so for people that have tiny homes, this is the perfect thing for them. Or even if you have a full-size home, this is also perfect for you too.
College,
And then, of
college
course,
dorm
other,
students, when they go back to dorms, video gamers, hikers, a lot of people could certainly make use of this.
yeah, we want everyone to have the basics. We want to be we're not a fashion company. I don't like fashion. I think it's too polluting to be worth the time. But I want to have all the basics covered here. I want to make sure everything you need, the basic shirts, basic underwear, socks, whatever it is, we have it covered for you. The dress shirts. And then later on, I think it's worth attacking the fashion world, but not in a way that's currently being done, because I don't know. There's no sustainable way to make fashion. There's just not. I've thought about it very long and hard, and I don't think there's any way possible to make the way we currently consume fashion sustainable at all. So I have a way I think it could work, but I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. But we'll see where we get there.
Very, very interesting. For more information and to buy, people can go to HerCleon.com. It's HerCleon.com. Thanks for being with us. Congratulations, and stay healthy, Wen.
Thank you so much. I'll do my best.
Cooking with the power of the sun. Hi, I'm Fred Fishkin, here to tell you about the latest innovation from my friend Patrick Sherwin and his great team at GoSun Stove. The GoSun Fusion has arrived using the company's tried and true reflectors and a solar vacuum tube to get you cooking without the mess of charcoal, heavy propane tanks, or smoke. A really bright idea. And with an optional solar panel and battery storage and the ability to plug in at home or on the road, you really can use the GoSun Fusion to cook anytime and anywhere, day or night, rain or shine. I love what Patrick and his team are doing, and so will you. Want to learn more? Head to gosun.co to check out all of the company's products and innovations, and use the code Techstination to save 10%. That's gosun.co.